and Facebook.
Oh, really?
Live on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
We're live on YouTube.
You say we're live right now.
Yep, we're live on YouTube. And that's right. All my YouTube followers out there, thank you for subscribing and liking. If you guys haven't subscribed and liked YouTube, I need you guys to do that right now. Type in Sober Talk. Subscribe and get other people to subscribe.
Like, follow, subscribe.
That's how you gotta type in is Sober Talk?
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun.
Okay.
That's
That was my notification. You gotta ring the bell too, so you can get notification every time it goes out.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm fresh back from Nashville, the honky tonk capital of the world. Man, cowboy hats and cowboy boots are really expensive.
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby.
Welcome back to another Friday night Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby. Man, I hope everybody's having a beautiful week. It's a great day to be alive, sober, and free. Free from the trap trailer, free from the jailhouse, and free from addiction and alcoholism. And it feels great. I just got back from Nashville, Tennessee. What a great city, the honky tonk capital of the world. I got to see Jelly Roll's new establishment. I didn't see Jelly Roll though, but got to eat some crawfish, some seafood. Got to stay at the Grand Ole Opry Resort. I mean, talk about plush. Shout out to Generac Generators. We go to their conference every year in a different city, and they're coming out with some great products. So if you're looking to get your house and your family secure, and you're tired of leaving your safety in the hands of your local government power company, contact Sabretooth Electric. But tonight's show is being sponsored by Pride for Seconds Sober Living and New Freedom Center. Beds are available. Just call 701-527-4000. Also, tonight's show is being sponsored by Relevant Church Life in Fargo, North Dakota. If you're in the Fargo, Moorhead area, look up Relevant Church and go check them out. It's a smaller church, but it is, man, it's thorough. Shout out to Pastor Travis Lynch. Shout out to Michael Bloom, Pastor Michael Bloom, and all their organization. Thanks for supporting Sober Talk. Also, tonight's show is being sponsored by Prairie Recovery Center in Raleigh, North Dakota. If you're looking for a bed, contact Prairie Recovery Center. Also, tonight's show is being sponsored by the House of Fade in Mandan. If you're looking for the best fade in the land, contact the House of Fade. Also, tonight's show is being sponsored by Serenity Bridge, Sober Living. Beds are available. If you're looking for a bed, contact Serenity Bridge Sober Living. Also, tonight's show is being sponsored by the F5 Project. Great things going on with F5. They're getting some bills signed. They're getting all kind of legislative things in the Capitol going on. But shout out to F5 and their whole organization. But I got some special guests in the house tonight. Two specials on that. I got my man Chance from Blessed Builders, and I got my man CJ Bear. CJ, not CJ Bear. See, my bad. Not shout out to CJ Bear.
Yeah.
I got CJ, the original CJ.
Yeah, there you go.
From
Yeah.
Blessed Builders. How's it going, fellas?
Good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm so blessed, man. If I known life was gonna be this good, I wish God would have saved me a long time ago.
Right.
So y'all having a good day? I want to thank y'all for coming out. So CJ,
Absolutely.
how long have you been sober and saved?
This time I've been sober for 142 days.
Congratulations, brother. What about you, Chance?
I've been sober for 2 years and 4 months.
Congratulations, brother. Well, on behalf of Sober Talk, I got y'all some Sober Talk stickers.
Thank you.
And And I want to say congratulations. I'm really proud of you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So Chance, where are you from?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Uh,
Ohio is the birthplace of AA. You know what I mean? That's where the real recovery
I
started.
didn't know that.
In Akron, Ohio. Yep, that's where
I
Dr. Bob's house is.
did not know that.
What about you, brother?
I'm from Fargo, North Dakota.
Fargo, North Dakota, Cass County.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm very proud of you guys. You know what I mean? Chance, is this your first time trying to get sober?
Yeah, it was my first time going into sober living and my first time in treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going very, very good.
Where did you go to treatment at?
Blessed Builders.
You went to treatment at Blessed
Yeah.
Builders, and you went to Sober Living, and now you're the manager of Blessed Builders.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blessed Builders treatment and ministry services. They're doing great things in the community.
Absolutely.
How many times have you tried to get sober, Mister Jay?
Probably about 9.
9 times.
Yeah.
He had a lot of rascal in him.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'll be 40 in May.
Okay, I'll be 42 in August.
Yeah.
Yep. See, I didn't attempt sobriety until I was 35. I had a lot of rascal in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can tell you one thing. The cold winters of North Dakota, it'll beat it out you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing or two things going to happen. Either you're going to freeze to death, you're going to go to prison, or you're going to change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Mr. Production, excuse me, guys. We had something fall in the background. I'm not sure if it messed anything up. Let's just make sure that everything is still going kosher.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good? Okay, we're good. Just want to double check everybody out there is getting the perfect view. So, Chance, how was it growing up in Ohio? Are you a Browns fan, Cincinnati's fan?
Well, I'm a Browns and a Denver Broncos fan.
Okay.
Because, I grew up in Cleveland until I was about like 7, and my childhood was good. Me and my brother were the only 2 white kids in school, so I fought a lot.
Yeah.
I grew up fighting.
So you had a brother.
Yeah.
Any sisters?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Okay. Mom and dad growing up?
Yeah, mom and dad, both of them growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you fought a lot.
Yeah.
Yep, I can relate with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because New Orleans, well, the schools I went to, it wasn't that many light skinned people.
Right.
And so yeah, I can relate with that. How old were you when you first remember trying drugs or alcohol?
I didn't start. Well, I started using alcohol probably when I was in high school.
Okay.
At parties and stuff, but I didn't start doing hard drugs until I was around like 18.
Okay. Well, that's good. You didn't stunt your growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was supposed to be like 7'5", and I started smoking when I was 9. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what were the drugs? Did you graduate?
Yeah, I graduated high school
What year?
2013.
Okay. The class of 2013. What high school?
Bismarck, BHS.
Okay. Well, how did you wind up in North Dakota?
Well, we lived in Denver, Colorado for years, and my dad was going to give his dad a kidney transplant, and he passed away. So when we moved here to go do that, we just stayed here.
Okay.
So I went from 8th grade until I graduated here
Okay.
in Bismarck.
How was that change from Denver to Bismarck?
It was crazy. I mean, I had a class of 45 people in one classroom in Denver, and I come here and I went to a classroom of like 10. So it was a little change, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, so you graduate and then you said you started trying drugs.
I had a 5-year free tuition to go to UND through this native program.
Okay. Are you native?
Yeah, I'm 35% Sioux.
Okay.
Yeah. And I decided to take a year off, and it was a joint choice.
Man, that's pretty good to be able to go to UND.
Yeah.
So you didn't go?
No, I didn't go.
Okay. What type of drugs did you get into?
Weed, meth, and like coke, ecstasy, shrooms, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, how was it at first? Like, it was just fun? Or did you start slacking?
Yeah, I was just having a good time with some friends, and it just kind of got off track, and then I started hustling it,
Yeah.
and I just went downhill from there.
How long was it before you got in trouble?
When I was 21,
What happened?
I just got pulled over with some stuff, and then that was my first charge, and then I just kept on just doing the same cycle over and over,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yep, the vicious cycle.
Yeah,
Well, how old are you now?
I'm 29.
29.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish I was 29.
Right?
I wish I was 29 and I know what I know now.
First year I went to prison, I was 29.
It's crazy, guys. Like how our whole life we're trying to rush to grow up.
Right.
And then when you get older, you're trying to rush to be young. You know what I mean? You're trying to preserve it. And we subconsciously destroy ourselves. You know what I mean? The whole time.
Sure.
And then when we get older, we're trying to preserve ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm aging backwards like Benjamin Button. It's a good movie, by the way.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So CJ,
Yo.
how was it growing up in Fargo?
It was pretty havoc. I mean, my mom, my dad lived in different houses.
Did you go to Minnesota a lot?
To like visit or what?
Yeah, just
Yeah, oh yeah, visit a lot. But my it was constantly moving around from school to school to school because I grew up in a toxic home where alcohol and drugs were played in a place, and there was always parties and like fights and stuff. So we were always kicked out of our homes, and we had to move to a different place. So like it was like almost every year I was in a new elementary school. So it was like hard, to like meet new friends and have to pick up and go again, and then pick up and go again, and by the time I was 11 years old, I was already drinking alcohol and smoking weed, and then by the time I was 13, and just started exploring into more stuff. And then by the time I was 15, I was learning how to cook dope, you know what I mean? And dropped out when I was 15 years old out of high school. And then
you started using meth at a young age?
Yeah, 15. And well, back then it was a different name for it, but yeah.
Yeah. Crank.
Annie, yeah. Anhydrous, yeah.
Yeah.
And all that coke and everything else. And then dropped out when I was 15 because I thought I'd be able to work. But I just started hustling drugs,
You already had it all figured out.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, you thought you had it all figured out.
Yeah.
And then when did you start getting in trouble? Like, when did you get arrested?
My first time I got arrested, I was 13 years old for grand theft auto, fleeing from the cops, possession of stolen vehicle, possession of stolen property, and like 5 counts of drug charges.
Okay.
Yeah, eluding the police. Yeah.
Yep.
And
that was the start of the chaos.
It was, but like my family, they're kind of like enablers, and they always had my back. So like basically, my first time I got in trouble, here comes Grandpa with his fucking checkbook and lays out the checkbook and pays for the lawyer, and then I get out, free man. And it was like that for a couple times until I was like 16 or so. And when I finally got sent away for a little bit, when I come right back, and then I start going back at it, you know what I mean? And then when I was 17, I was in a head-on collision, and I broke my ribs and fractured my wrists and everything like that. And then they prescribed me to oxys and morphines and all that stuff. And it was 16 when I first touched a needle. So when the painkiller started coming on, it was like full blown junkie at that time, everything, not working, running the streets and stealing shit and the works, you know what I mean? That's the life I lived. That's the life I knew, and it was a shame, but
when was the first time you tried to get sober?
The first time I tried to get sober, like actual, like want to get sober, or like actual want to get sober.
Yeah.
Well, 29 years old is the first time I went into prison. That was my first time I went into prison, and I wanted to get sober then.
Prison here in Bismarck?
Yeah. I moved to Bismarck when I was 27 in 2000, end of 2012. I was here for about 15 months, and I already caught my first case for selling dope, and got raided. Me and my brother's house got raided down behind Sports Page, and they got me in like three different areas. They got me on a traffic stop, and then they raided my house, and then they got a wire warrant on me all at the same time. So I had 3 different cases going on me. And with my prior records from North Dakota, from Fargo, they made me sit a 5-year minimum mandatory, which I didn't have to do the full 5 years. But that was like my first time I wanted to get sober.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got out of prison, I was only out 11 months before I went back in, and then I was out 9 months and then went back in. And like every time I got out, it was like I tried to do good. I tried to get that job. I tried to do everything. But in my mind, I want fast cash. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I want bank. I want money. And I never liked working. So, and then he would just go see the plug, and he'd put you on every time, and it wouldn't take long. I remember the first time I was out of prison back in 2017, because I sat 29 months my first time.
Mhm.
And then I got out and I started going heavy, and then I got really big into like Xanax and Roxy's and all that stuff. And I OD'd November 30th of 2017.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, I was here. That was one
yeah,
of my worst years,
yeah,
2017.
that was one of my worst years too.
2017 made me get sober.
That's I wish I wish
So
I could
your
say the
OD,
same.
tell me about that day. Did you
Um,
wake up planning like I'm a OD today?
I didn't know. I was in a rage. Um, um, it happens to be over a female, and I went and she like left, and I was pissed off, and I went down to this guy's house to mean business, and I did some stuff I shouldn't have done. I'm not gonna say it, but
Yeah.
and then I went back to my house, and I don't know. I just started using. I shot up a gram of meth, and I shot up uh 3 D8s, reloaded eights,
Yep.
and I ate like 6 Xanax bars. And I remember smoking Roxy's off that tinfoil, and then I woke up in a hospital.
Yep. Boy, I'm glad you're still alive,
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was my pro officer was like, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a." And at that time, I was hustling really hard. I had a lot of people out there pushing for me. So I had a lot of money out on the streets, and my pro officer wanted me to go into the center for a 30-day assessment, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, I got too much money on the streets to collect. So I asked for 48 hours, and he told me I only had 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So then I basically told him, gave him the finger and said, "Catch me when you can,"
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I went on the run. And I went on the run for 56 days that
Yeah.
time. No, 76 days. 76 days that day. And then I got caught, went back to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It always happens.
yeah,
I can tell
yeah,
you one thing.
yeah,
North Dakota is not the place to sell drugs.
yeah. It's not. It's
No,
not.
it's not.
For real. That's
Yeah,
and the Detroit people keep coming. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They don't get the memo, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because it's greed, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's all about the money. People see that they can make a whole bunch of money and they take that risk. And
yeah.
it's just this is not the place.
When I got out my third
You're
time,
gonna go to prison, you're gonna get indicted, it's
yeah.
gonna happen.
When I got out my third time, I moved to South Dakota, and I was actually 29 months sober.
Okay.
Throughout that whole
How
time,
did you stay 29 months sober?
um, I ended up another girl, another female, and she was a good girl, and I moved down to South Dakota with her, and she had a family, some kids and stuff, and she was sober, so like it helped me stay sober, and when we split up, towards like the last 5 months of me splitting up with her, I was secretly starting to slang already in that town where I was at,
Mm-hmm.
and when we broke up, I was full blown. I had people come in from town, and we just went at it. And it only took 19 days.
Mm-hmm.
19 days landed me back, and now I'm in a South Dakota jail, sitting with 11 felonies. And and that was it, man. And I ended up doing some time for that. I sat 6.5 months in South Dakota prison,
Mm.
down there in Sioux Falls on the hill, and then Rapid City. So
Yeah.
mm,
It happens every time.
every time.
So Chance, tell me about the darkest point of your addiction and using it kind of led you up to getting sober.
My darkest point. Uh, I was feeling down on myself, and my baby mama messaged me saying that I'm never gonna change.
You got kids?
Yeah, I got one son.
You got kids?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, she told me I'm never gonna change, and said a whole bunch of other mean shit to me. But
Yeah.
her saying that she's gonna have me not see my kid no more. That kind of made me change. And then when I got out of jail, I did like 90 days or something like that. Then I got out and I got high, and then she sent me that text, and it just wasn't fun for me no more.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I said I didn't want this for my life no more, and I've been sober ever since. I went to BTC for 60 days, and then I heard about Blessed Builders, and I went up there and signed up for treatment, and then Crystal talked to me about sober living, and the vibe there when I went there for treatment, it just felt really, really good.
Right.
So I felt like home to me.
Shout out to the Blooms and Blessed Builders.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just felt something special with Blessed Builders, so I went to sober living there, and I've been sober ever since. And I don't plan on going back.
Amen to that. How do you deal with like the early cravings or using dreams or things like that?
I actually like the using dreams. Because
They scare you?
yeah, they do. If I have a using dream, I wake up and I'm glad that never happened, and it makes me, not look forward to going back at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have a spiritual life growing up?
Uh, yeah, kind of. I mean, me and my family went to church once in a while. Um, and then through my using, I didn't really believe in God. But then once I got sober, I started going to church more, and I found God again.
Mm-hmm.
I pray every morning, every night I go to sleep. So
Say that one more time.
I pray every night and every morning I go to sleep.
Prayer every day works.
Yeah,
It does.
It's powerful.
Yep.
It really is.
Because I don't want to ever feel that pain I went through. You know what I mean? That pain of, man, I did it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about you? How was your spiritual life growing up, and how is your spiritual life now?
Well, growing up, I grew up, my grandfather was really Catholic. I mean, he had his rosary by his bed. He, in my early ages of like, when I was younger, I remember him sending to me all these Bible camps and stuff like that, and, he always told me he wanted me to become a priest, but then obviously it never happened.
Yeah.
The total opposite, and I've always believed in God, you know what I mean? I've always believed in him, and I've always think that he's real, and there's times where I probably have doubted him, a lot, like um and and stuff like that. And I was really like when I was in Blessed Builders the first time, I was all about it. And then
How long were you in it the first time?
I was in it for 18 months the first time.
And sober?
Yeah, and sober the whole time. Yeah. I was there. I was house manager for 15 months. And then
Is that when you guys met?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped me for like the last 6 months or so that I was there the first time. And then I referred him to become next house manager behind me. And then when I left in August of 23, Chance took over full time.
Okay.
And I prayed. I prayed every single night in prison. Um, and now that I'm out, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I slack on it big time. And I don't know what it is, why it is. Um, like I believe in him, but like I don't know. I guess it'd probably say wrong to say that he's let me down so many times
Or
because
you let yourself down.
yeah.
So you were in
but
Blessed Builders for 18 months. Then you had to go to prison.
yeah, I went to prison. Yeah,
For how long?
I went to prison for 6.5 months.
Federal prison.
No, state prison down in South Dakota, and then I got out February 9th of last year.
Okay, and then you got out and you didn't go back to sober living.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
And I remember, yeah, you did. You did. I remember you telling me when I first got out, you're like, "Are you going back to Blessed Builders?" And I was like, "No, I think I got it this time."
Yep. And what happened?
Well, so I was in a relationship when I went into prison, and she ride it out with me throughout my whole stay. And then when I got out, things got really rocky with her, and she tried to be really controlling, and I left her. And then I got my own place, and I decided to get my marijuana medical card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
How did that work out?
well, I started smoking, and then I started smoking, and then I started getting more risky because then I started drinking, and then I was in the bars every night drinking and after parties, and before you know it, it wasn't long until I started dabbling with the cocaine, and it wasn't long after that that I started dealing with the meth, and at first it was like once in a while type of thing, like once on the weekends, because I was trying to hide it because my father's no joke. Like my father, when I'm around him, he knows. I got some good friends in my life that they know, you know what I mean? And
You can hide it
and
from
when I
me.
would come to work, he would know, you know what I mean? Like, and they would know. So I would try to like do it on the minimum, or like I would do a like go fishing and stuff like that, and do it when I was fishing, or do it with certain people, you know. And then the more I started hanging out with more toxic people and more using people, it became an everyday thing, and it was
Right.
just I had to stay high, and that was the only way to function. And I remember the month of August, because September 4th is when I got raided, and the month of August I slept 3 days, you know. So I mean, August was a full blown addict month, and and then allegedly started slanging, and it was, and I got saved though. I really did. Like, um I don't hold any anger against my parole officer for that day, for real, because I mean, she came into my house, and I just right away I broke down, and I told her, I said, hey, I'm using, you know what I mean, I'm using meth and coke. I need help. And instead of revoking me and sending me back to prison, I asked if I could go to sober living again. And she said, you have 1 week to get into a sober living, or we're going to do it my way.
Right.
And that's when I called Chance and Shane right away.
Right.
And
Why do you want to call?
yeah,
You gotta go figure it out.
yeah. And yeah, well, I knew Shane is one of my good friends. Shane was there for me 100% the whole time. I was in Blessed Builders before me, and like I said, I helped manage his houses with him. He did so much. He used to come to every single one of my court cases. You know what I mean? He's like a best friend. He's like a mentor to me. You know, like so. And I fell off when I got out. When I started using, I let go of like Shane. I let go of like social media so he couldn't see what I was doing, because I felt embarrassed, obviously. But the day I called there, I had so much guilt and shame, because where I left Blessed Builders and where I'm coming back to Blessed Builders, like I had so much guilt and shame on myself, like where I once was in my life, and like how you know what I mean, like changed my life around all the things I did. Um, and the only thing I can say is, even though I've only been there for almost 5 months this time, I feel like I've accomplished more this time around because I'm doing it for myself. And last time I was doing it for the courts, the treatment places, the judge, the lawyers, the girlfriend, you know what I mean? Like I was doing it for everybody else. And this time I'm doing it for myself, and I feel like I've accomplished so much stuff. And I've already made a promise to myself and to everyone else, like people close to my leave, like when I leave, like I'm done with the weed. I really am. I'm done with the pot. I'm done with the alcohol. I'm done with it all. Like it don't work for me, man. It don't work for me.
Just leave the other thing.
It don't every time.
And you go to jail really quick. You do. You notice that it's getting quicker and quicker every time.
It is. It is. It is.
You don't even how you even think about selling drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I know for a fact, if there happens to be another time, it'll be like 20 years. You know what I mean? It's they're not messing around no more. I got 9 felonies on my record for distribution and sales and selling. So it's like I can't do it. And I'm about to be 40. My dad's 68. He's the only family I got left in my life, and I feel like I put him through so much guilt and hurtness that I don't want to do it to him no more. And I'd like to spend the rest of my life that he has, which I hope is a long time, but you know what I mean, in his presence, you know what I mean? And he even told me, he's like, if you go back again, like you're all on your own. I'm not here. I won't be here when you get out. Like, I don't want that, man. I really don't. And to say that I'm gonna be 40 and I've been doing drugs since I was 15, and the craziest stuff I've been through and done in my life, and all I near death so many times in my life, and I gotta stop, man. I gotta stop. I got
Right.
to. It's coming a burden on my life that I just can't take no more. And before I never thought that weed and alcohol would is the gateway to leading me back to hard drugs. I always used to deny that to everybody. You know what I mean? I said, no, 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 no. But I realized that hey, when I get a little alcohol in me, I don't like that feeling. So I gotta, you know what I
How
mean?
long are you on papers?
8 years of prolapse.
I think you should stay at Blessed Builders. You should stay there a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to. I honestly would like to, but like, man, I can't do the whole roommate thing no more. It's getting to me. You know what I mean? Like,
You sleep in the parking lot in the back of your new
or
truck.
if I had like a one solid good roommate, you know what I mean? Like where I was at before I left, and then now where I'm at now. Like if you know what I mean? Like the whole roommate thing, and like, I don't know, man. I get the curfew thing. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I know.
Did you have a roommate when you was in prison?
Yeah, about 12 of
Yeah,
them.
something to think about.
Yeah, no, I know, I know.
Yeah, you're right.
You right on that. You got me on that one. But
But
no, I love it though. I love Blessed Builders and what they do for people, and
Yeah,
I couldn't thank Shane and Crystal enough that what they've done in my life. Like I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I agree.
Well, practice on that prayer. You know what I mean? That prayer every day. This, even when you don't want to do it, make yourself do it. You
Yeah.
got to start somewhere.
absolutely.
Chance, you have any plans of leaving anytime soon?
Uh, in the near future, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I always say stay there as long as you can.
Yeah. On the 25th, I'll be there for 2 years,
There you go.
and it's not a bad thing to be there for long amounts of time.
Right.
You're there to find yourself and to get back, to your normal self, and just find out who you are.
How many sober houses, does Blessed Builders have?
We have 2 men, and then we have another men's house opening at the beginning of next month,
Okay.
and then we have 3 female houses.
Oh, 3 female
Yeah.
houses. Okay. Well, shout out to Blessed Builders and all the people that are part of that organization.
Yeah,
So like, how's your life now? So you guys work together still?
yeah,
Yeah,
How's that?
that's good.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of like his boss, you know?
Yeah. And he's kind of like your boss. When you get off, you clock off when you punch in.
Hey, that is the truth. That is the truth. Yep. He is. I'm his boss at work, and he's the boss at the sober living, man.
Are you the only 2 guys from Blessed Builders that work there?
Nope.
No.
We have one guy. Well, we have one guy who has just left Blessed Builders, but he works there as well. And then his brother works there.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
But
that's
we've been there for I helped Chance get his job back there a couple years ago. And we've been there ever since. And he's my best cook, man. Like he is my best cook. I do the schedule every week. So I make sure that, me and him are bossed out on the hours and
Yeah. What's one of your favorite dishes to cook at the restaurant?
What's my favorite dish?
I don't really eat there. The only thing I eat there is
Well, I mean, it's not even that you got to eat it; it's that you got to cook it.
I like to cook the victory lap.
What's that?
That's our challenge that we have there.
It's like a big old.
Yeah. So
It still got geese on that thing.
So you have to. So it's good to know that because when we get a victory lap come in, we know that someone's doing a challenge out there, which you got to eat all this in 1 hour.
And then what
So
happens?
it's a twin cam, a Sicky's burger, a Chowzilla, and hangover, and then 2 pounds of fries.
And you get a T-shirt or something.
You get a T-shirt, and like the meal's free, and you get your name on a plaque that's in the Sicky's. You know what I mean?
Have you ever ate it?
I'm not gonna attempt it.
Have you seen someone eat it?
No, because I'm always in the kitchen. So
Well, has
yeah.
someone ate the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing?
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
And well, you heard it.
yeah,
Try that victory lap at Sicky's
yeah.
garage. And so how's your life now, brother? Like you get to see your child.
yeah, I'm in my son's life. Yeah.
Okay. How are you staying sober?
Just helping men in recovery. When CJ asked me first to become a manager, I was a little iffy on it. I didn't think I'd be right for that position. But I told him I would try it out, and I just fell in love with it. Just the feeling you get from helping men and guide them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
It just feels really good.
Yep.
And that's one of my main things that just keep me going. And even if I do move out, I would like to still plan on, still helping out blessed builders and
Right.
stuff like that. So,
Yep. Who you think's gonna win the Super Bowl?
well, I'm a Broncos fan,
Okay.
so
I'm a Saints fan, and they ain't in it. So
I want to go with the Commanders.
yeah, boy, that's the LSU. That Louisiana State University that quarterback came from. He won the Heisman.
Yeah,
Daniels.
as long as the Chiefs ain't in it, I'm
Right.
Yeah, I'm going for the Bills.
Yeah, talk about an upset for the Lions, huh?
Yeah.
Man, oh, that was a great game.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
When's the games? This weekend, huh?
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, yeah. Sunday is both of them.
2 championship games, right?
Yeah.
And whoever wins, that goes
Go to
who goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep. So may the best team win. And the refs stop cheating. Cheating for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, I think they got their challenge. I think Bills are going to crush them.
I don't know.
They did already once.
Yeah.
They did once.
How are you staying sober?
How am I staying sober?
Missed the 9 times. How's your life now?
I'd say
I heard you got your license. You got your vehicle.
Yeah. My life has been good. I guess like I got myself a vehicle. The first time getting a vehicle since I lived in South Dakota. Um, I get my credit back on track. I had to wipe out and do a bankruptcy thing here this go around, and that's going to be finalized here coming up in like 2 weeks or so. And I'm just trying to build my credit back up to get back on top. Um, I go to meetings. I like going to shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean? Because
at the Bismarck Community Church on Tuesday nights.
I like that one because I get to hear other people's stories and how they reflect on mine. And I agreed, like helping other people is what was like my biggest passion about being in Blessed Builders before helping all the new guys come in. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them struggle and don't want to stay, and to help them out. And I don't know. And I guess another thing I stay sober for is because I'm done doing time. I really am. I'm just done. I'm sick and tired of it. So that's what's really helping me stay sober.
Yep. Well, amen to that. What's the turnaround rate for Blessed Builders? Like, is a lot of guys leaving every week, or they kind of hang around a while?
They stay a while. Some guys, they don't.
Do y'all stay to full capacity most of the time?
Most of the time. Yeah,
and they have a waiting list?
Yeah, we have a big waiting list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone has a waiting list these days.
Yeah,
there's no shortage on addicts and alcoholics. People getting in trouble.
Yeah, our new house ain't even done yet. It's already full.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They definitely could build more. They definitely could use more.
Right. So you heard it. If anybody out there wants to start a sober living house, you guaranteed it'll be full.
Yeah.
Before you even open it. What's one of the things that you hated about not being sober that you think about now? Like, man, I'm glad I don't have to go through that anymore. And what's one of the things that you're happy about in your new life, sober and saved now? I know one for me was like, I get to go to sleep now. You know what I mean? I used to stay up for days and I'd be like, man, I wish I can go to sleep today. Well, it's another morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just stupid things. You know what I mean? What's one thing that you remember from not being sober that you kind of hated?
From not being sober.
Like not eating?
Yeah, probably.
Guilt and shame?
That'd probably be the guilt and shame and not eating and the sleep thing.
Getting track marks, sores in your nose. I know I used to snort so much that I would get like these big cuts in my nose.
Yeah.
Or I'd be all flailed out coming down, and like I'd be hitting my hands on everything. And when I would come to, I have like all these bruises and cuts on my hands and stuff from like hitting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's something?
Yeah. Okay.
What's something you could? I know what yours is. Waking up in prison.
No. One thing I hated like about when I was not sober was like I'd have to say like always, looking over your shoulder. You know what I mean? Because when you're using, you're doing so many foul plays. You know what I mean? I was doing this and that, and robbing people, places, things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Constantly trying to figure a way to come up. You know what I mean? Because if you didn't have the drugs to get rid of, then you had to figure out a different way to make money. You know what I mean? And hitting licks and
Yeah.
and doing all that stuff that I definitely am proud of. You know what I mean? So that's one of the biggest things I hated about doing it. You know what I mean? Like, or finding places to stay, people to, you know what I mean? Who could you trust? Who, you know what I mean? Who, all that stuff, And then, one of the biggest things I love about being sober now is my health. Like this time around, like I've put in my health. My dad said to me about six months ago or so, about 2 months before I got sober, he said, Chris, I hope you're really around and you outlive me, because the way you're living your life right now and the way you are and not healthy, you're gonna die soon, And so I really took that into like accountability, and um, I've been on a new weight loss plan since November 1st. I've already lost 35 pounds.
How'd you do that?
Um, well,
Medicine or?
well, yeah, I started taking a Zepbound weight loss shot. I take that
Yeah.
once a week. Not only that, like I gave up sweets, I gave up pop, I gave up fast food, I gave up watch your carbs and calories, what you eat. I gave up any food out of a fryer.
You shoot it in your leg?
In my stomach, each side every other week.
Okay.
And it takes away your hunger, it takes away your thirst. You gotta drink. But since November 1st, I've not drank anything but water. That's the only thing I've drank in my body besides milk and cereal. But water is the only thing. I drink it all day long to stay full.
Mhm.
I try to stick to like one meal a day,
Mhm.
and I do like a high protein. So basically, I consume about 125 grams of protein a day.
Right.
Make sure I get my little bit of veggies. I eat fruits. But I love it, and it's almost like an addiction itself now that I'm staying healthy, and I'm starting to fit. Like all my clothes aren't starting to fit anymore. Like it's, you know what I mean? My double chin's losing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm actually getting a membership to the Y. I was supposed to get it today, but I'm going tomorrow to get it. And I found a good buddy of mine, who's in also one of the sober living homes, who he loves a gym, and he's gonna work for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's good to find somebody that has like some passionate in what he does in that gym, and to take time to actually, because now my goal is to get shredded. That's what I want to do. I want to lose my stomach. I want to keep going. I want 70 more pounds. I want to lose 70 more pounds, and
It can be done.
yeah, and get shredded. You know what I mean? That's my next step in life. So,
Yep.
and I can do it. So,
Zepbound does work. I lost weight on Zepbound.
is you? Yeah,
It works.
yeah,
I mean, it's expensive though.
yeah. I got with my insurance, I pay $100 a month.
Well, that's good. You must have some great insurance.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Cost me 500 a month, but it's worth it.
Yeah. But well, I'm proud of you, brother. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of you too, Chance. You got any shout outs?
Uh, yeah, I just want to just do a shout out to Crystal and Shane Bloom,
The Blooms.
and Bless Builders and the whole organization. And I just appreciate all of you guys and what you guys do for the community. And yeah, 'cause you guys saved my life. And I just really appreciate it.
Amen to that.
Mhm.
What about you, brother?
Yeah, I got some shout outs. I first want to do a shout out to Shane and Crystal Boom as well at Blessed Builders for taking me back the second time and giving me a chance and believing me again, and letting me get a bed to stay there, and help save me again. And I appreciate everything they've done for me in my life, and being behind my back. I would also like to do a shout out to my parole officer. She gave me another chance and didn't send me back to prison this time around, and let me get more help and get into sober living. And I want to give a shout out to my father, who's my best friend, and for believing in me and never giving up on me and being there for me, through thick and thin. And then, just my friends, you know what I mean? You for having us on this show, and you know what I mean? Just good friends for sticking around and believing us in us addicts, because some of us, it takes a while. It takes a while to get there, and and when you get there and you want to get there, it's so I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you.
I want to thank y'all for coming.
Yeah.
Any wise words to anybody out there struggling right now?
If you're struggling, don't be afraid to get help. There's always people out there. Bismarck is huge in the sobriety and the recovery world. There's so many places out there to get help. There's so many treatment places, and not a lot of people is going to push you away. So my advice would be, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you're struggling, it's better life on this side.
Yeah.
Amen to that. What about you, brother?
You said the same thing. You really did.
Yeah.
That's because great minds think alike. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Blessed Builders. They have men's houses, women's houses. They have treatment. They have ministry in the Gateway Mall.
Yeah.
That's their headquarters there. So you can get on the waiting list, or you can just reach out to one of these guys. Because if they can change their life and be a miracle, you can too. You know what I mean? Or you can reach out to the show page. If anybody wants to be a guest on the show, shoot me a message. If anybody wants me to be a part of their events, shoot me a message. Anybody wants to sponsor the show, shoot us a message. But I want to thank you guys again. I got CJ Hanson with 5 months.
Oh, yep.
5 months this time, sober and saved. And I got Chance with almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Managing Blessed Builders Sober Living, helping men in recovery. God bless all the men in recovery, all the women in recovery out there. But tonight's show has been sponsored by Tied for Second, Sober Living, and New Freedom Center. Beds are available. Also, tonight's show is sponsored by Prairie Recovery Center in Raleigh, North Dakota. Also, tonight's show is sponsored by Serenity Bridge, Sober Living. Also, tonight's show is being sponsored by Treasures of the Sea and Earth right here in Bismarck, North Dakota. Tonight's show is also being sponsored by the 5-Second Rule Bracelet. Also, tonight's show is being sponsored by J-Dobo, your leading spice in the land. If you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoning, baby.
Hell yeah.
And Relevant Life Church in Fargo, Moorhead area. Thanks for all the support. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun, Friday nights. And I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. And just remember, if you can't stay sober, catch your Uber. We love you, baby.
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun.
That was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's the weekend, baby.